I'm Ben McElroy, the transfer coordinator at Worcester State University. And I'm going to share a Greenfield Community College Creator Week information session for you, about 15-20 minutes or so. I include contact information so you can reach out to me if you have any questions or would like to discuss anything further. Without further ado, I'll begin. So at Worcester State University, we do our best to make the transfer process as easy on you as we can. We try to take on as much of the burden ourselves in many different ways. One of the ways that we make transferring easier to Worcester State is that we participate in mass transfer, which is a statewide program and a series of agreements between the community colleges and the four-year state universities and UMass campuses here in the Commonwealth. The other thing that we like to do is maximize your transfer credits. We not only try to bring in as many transfer credits as we can, but we also try to apply as many of them to your degree plan as possible. We can accept up to 72 credits from a two-year college like Greenfield. We can accept a total of 90 credits if you've attended both two-year and four-year institutions. We have plenty of experienced staff dedicated to enrolling new transfer students, and that starts in the Admissions Transfer Center, which is part of the admissions office at Worcester State. I'm pretty much the one full-time transfer staff member in admissions. I also have an assistant who can answer a lot of general inquiries, especially when I'm not available. We have dedicated advisors in our Academic Success Center. We have plenty of transfer knowledge in the financial aid office, the registrar's office, and across the board. So hopefully that'll translate into a very smooth transition from Greenfield Community College to Worcester State University. And our biggest goal is to ensure that you become a Worcester State community member even before the semester begins. We want you to feel comfortable at Worcester State and comfortable with the degree plan that you've selected and many other aspects of your college education. We really like to not even feel like a transition, that you're just picking up where you left off. We brought in over 500 new transfer students during the last academic year, and that resulted from about 1,000 or so transfer applications. I'm responsible for reviewing the transfer applications, so if you have any questions about that part of the process, let me know immediately. Transfer students represented about 31% of our new fall 2020 semester students and about 84% of the new spring 2021 overall students who came in. Those numbers are fairly steady. The numbers fluctuate a little bit, but it's always usually about a third of the fall class and the vast majority of the spring class that are made up of transfer students. Transfer students are a vital component of the Worcester State community. You bring a lot more to the classroom than do the traditional new students coming direct from high school. You have a variety of experiences and backgrounds and educational histories, and you certainly can inspire some of these other students to reach their goals. I mentioned the Admissions Transfer Center a few minutes ago. We have a series of services that we offer, which include pre-transfer advising opportunities, whether it's over the phone, by email, in person, through virtual events, and a variety of other ways. We host transfer information sessions. This semester, they're going to be both in person and virtual. Same with our on-the-spot decision days. We'll have a series of in-person decision days and virtual decision days. I offer walk-in office hours every Wednesday in person. I also have about an hour and a half or so dedicated on Thursday afternoons for drop-in virtual office hours. Individual appointments are some people's preference, so we offer those all week. You can register for any of these opportunities on the Transfer Students website, which is the next item on the list. That Transfer Students web page includes, again, links to register for these different events. It includes some transfer basics, videos that I recorded last year. It includes the admissions process, links to different things associated with transfer. Really, it gives you most of the details you need. However, if you need additional information or clarification or have questions, reach out. That's the best thing to do, is ask those questions immediately when they occur to you, as opposed to letting them sit there and fester in sometimes things go wrong when you don't ask those questions right away. About 9 or 10 years ago, the Transfer Center and the Academic Success Center collaborated to create and build an online transfer course equivalency guide. It represents hundreds of colleges and tens of thousands of individual course equivalencies. Greenfield Community College happens to be fairly well represented on the equivalency guide. However, not every course is on there yet from every college. If one of your GCC courses isn't there, let me know. I'll have it evaluated by our faculty and it will show up on that equivalency guide, usually within a week or two. It's a living and breathing document and it grows a little bit every week. I also prepare a transfer credit evaluation for every accepted transfer student. It eventually turns into your degree audit or the path from the point of transfer to the end of to the completion of your degree program. You can see some of the top 5 majors listed at the bottom of the screen here. None of them are necessarily part of the Creator Week presentation, but those fall in the probably next, top 10. There's a few of those. Communication is a big one. We have plenty of other majors. So these aren't the best majors, they're just very popular transfer majors. And moving on, so this fall semester, we introduced a new art major at Worcester State University. It's been in the planning stages for many years, and we're proud and pleased that we can now offer the standalone art major at Worcester State University. The major is designed to emphasize studio art training and arts research with the development of your own creativity. So you'll be taking courses like painting, drawing, watercolor, different things like that. We also be combining that with maybe some art history courses or more technical courses, depending on your area of interest. In fact, you'll have the freedom to explore a specific area of interest once you get past the introductory courses within the major. And you'll be doing that through a progressive learning program, starting with those introductory courses, which, some are studio, some are history, some are a little bit of research, critical thinking. And then you're going to move on to the intermediate courses, when you start digging much deeper into the major in your areas of interest. And then you'll be selecting some elective courses, which all lead to a capstone independent project, which may or may not appear in the Mary Cosgrove Dolphin Studio, which is on campus. It's in our science technology building of all places, but it is a dedicated art gallery, which not only showcases student and faculty artwork, but also exists as sort of a learning lab for our art majors, where you learn the ins and outs of displaying art, sort of like a mini museum, maybe art shows, different things like that. So it's a very interesting place, and I encourage you to visit. Some sample careers: you can become an arts educator, you can become an arts administrator, you can work in a museum as a docent, a curator, or director, and plenty of other things in the art world. So these are just some of the careers you can get into, but the possibilities are fairly endless. So definitely take advantage of internships, take advantage of research opportunities with the faculty, and different things like that. Next, I'm going to highlight our communication major. This one's been around for decades. It's a very popular major for transfers. In fact, I think it would be number 6 on the list of our top 10 majors. The major promotes critical understanding of communication in the culturally diverse world for the digital age. Things have come a long way technologically. So at one time we're more, I don't want to call them analog because that's a computer term, but more the hands-on. Now everything, a lot of aspects of the communication major shifted to the digital side of things. And what we're going to do is encourage you as students in the theory and practice of various areas of communication, which would include like digital media production, public relations, advertising. You can be a generalist within the major. There's a few other options as well. Get into photography, television production, screenwriting, all sorts of things. In fact, on campus, we have some hands-on facilities, least of which is the television studio. We have editing suites. We have multimedia labs, video and photographic equipment aplenty that is kept updated. And we also have photographic doc rooms for some of the more traditional photography courses that we do offer. As a graduate of the communication major, you can get into careers in social media, marketing and advertising, journalism, print journalism, broadcast journalism, electronic media, TV and radio broadcasting. You can get into print and electronic publishing, like digital imaging and graphic design, and plenty of other areas as well. We also have a new theater major at Worcester State University. Again, it's new this fall, 2021. It combines marketable hands-on production experience with a variety of coursework. So you'll be maybe taking a course in acting or directing or voice for the stage, or maybe you want to work behind the scenes with lighting or set design, costuming, different things like that. You get into directing, into theater management, etc. So the emphasis is placed on practical techniques and a critical analysis necessary for successful productions. In fact, our theater department puts on at least 2 to 3, maybe sometimes 4 productions throughout the academic year, of which you can be a part as a theater major or non-theater major. As I mentioned, we offer courses in acting, design, theater technology, dramaturgy, that type of thing. We do have a fuller theater, which is located on the 2nd floor of our administration building on campus. That's where all of those productions are held. That's where a lot of the classwork takes place as well. In addition to the theater, we also have a scenic and costume shops in the administration building, connected to the theater via stairways and corridors. So for ease of transport of the items. So it's a very robust major. Get a little bit of theater history, different things like that. Some sample careers. You can move on to become an actor, a stage art director, costume designer, lighting technician, sound engineer, be a stage manager, and plenty of other areas as well. So like most of these majors we've talked about so far, you have a variety of options as a career. And finally, I'll introduce to you the Visual and Performing Arts major at Worcester State. It's a unique interdisciplinary program that's one of the very few types of this program of this type in the entire country. So it does combine the study and practice in the arts, music, and theater. So the art and music theater majors were born from this interdisciplinary major, but some students want a greater variety of courses and have a variety of interests in the arts. So you'll gain an interdisciplinary view of the arts and an understanding of how to use one art form to inform the others, which is where the interdisciplinary programming comes in. So you'll be taking introductory courses in art, music, theater. You'll be taking intermediate courses in those areas. You'll be taking advanced courses in those areas. And all of those courses are designed to promote critical thinking and prepare you, the student, intellectually and creatively to work in the visual and performing arts field, which would include internships. You'd have access to all of the different studios and facilities that are available to all art and theater majors, as well as our the music courses, different things like that. Music courses would include individual study with a professor. If you have a expertise in a piano, voice, drums, whatever it happens to be, singing. And once you complete this major, you'll have a very comprehensive understanding of the visual performing arts field, and you can move on to a career in art, dance, education, museums again, music, performing arts venues, theaters, and more. Again, the possibilities are endless, and there's a wide variety of careers available to VPA majors who graduate from Worcester State. Okay, now we're going to take a little break from the academics and move on to the admissions process that we can get you into Worcester State, and you can begin your study in one of these areas or others. So we try to keep the application process as straightforward and simple as possible. Again, focusing on that ease of transfer to Worcester State. And it starts with the Worcester State University application. There is an application fee of $50. However, if you visit Worcester State, say for a campus tour or an open house, or attend one of my info sessions, we'll waive that application fee for you. We do also ask for a final high school transcript. However, that can be waived if you have an associate's degree at the time of application, or if you apply during your final semester of an associate's degree program. Most importantly, we do need your official college transcripts from every college attended, whether it was just one summer course or you've transferred from somewhere else to GCC, and then we'll be transferring to Worcester State. If you happen to complete any AP or IB courses in the resultant exam in high school, or if you completed a CLEP exam in college, you would want to send those exam scores to the Worcester State University Registrar's Office. They translate the exam scores into college credit for you. Also, if you're an active military member or a veteran, feel free to submit your JST, that's Joint Services Transcript, or the Community College of the Air Force transcript if you were in the Air Force. And we can translate those experiences into college credit for you as well. Again, we want to maximize your experiences so to minimize the time from transfer to degree completion at Worcester State. There's plenty of opportunities at graduate school and in careers that I'm sure you're very eager to move on to. As far as the process, the admission criteria, that's set by the Massachusetts Department of Higher Education, and it's fairly straightforward. If you happen to have anywhere from 12 to 23 transferable credits and a minimum GPA of 2.5, you meet the transfer student admission criteria at Worcester State University. If you have up to 23 transferable credits and a minimum GPA of a 2.0, sorry. No, I still didn't fix this correctly. Okay, let me start over. 12 to 23 transferable credits with a GPA of a 2.5 or higher, you're in. 24 more transferable credits and a GPA of a 2.0 or higher, you're in. Up to 23 transferable credits, minimum GPA of 2.0, you must meet our first year admission requirements as well, which include GPAs and standardized test scores for the most part. Again, if you need clarification on any of this, reach out to me. I'll provide my contact information at the end of the presentation. As far as deadlines, for those interested in September or fall semester entrance, our first deadline is January 15th, which is very firm, and that's for our nursing program, traditional four-year program. If you're interested in our LPN to BSN program, February 1st would be the deadline. For the majors outlined today and most of our others, the priority decision for September entrance deadline is March 1st, which also coincides with the financial aid deadline. If you're an international student, you have until April 1st to apply. And if you're interested in our RN to BSN program or interested in more of a regular decision type timeline, May 1st would be the deadline. If you're thinking you'd like to transfer during the midway through the academic year for January or spring semester entrance, that deadline is November 15th for everybody. There are limited international student application opportunities for the spring semester. You could certainly reach out to me. I can address that for you. And unfortunately, we have no nursing admission opportunities for the spring semester. Those are all limited to the September or fall semester entry. As far as paying for college, this academic year's costs are outlined here. Tuition and fees, about $10,600. Room and board, about $12,500. For a total sticker price of little over $23,000 for the year. That's before financial aid and other financial assistance are added on to the bill, or deducted from the bill, I should say. One of those opportunities is our Transfer Merit Scholarship. It's for students who apply for September entrance only, and it's worth $1,000 per academic year for up to 4 consecutive semesters of full-time study or 2 years of full-time study. There's no separate application needed. When you submit your admissions application and your file is reviewed, you're automatically considered for this Transfer Merit Scholarship. I begin awarding those usually in April, sometimes May, for the upcoming fall semester. And once again, if you have any questions, definitely reach out to me at the Admissions Transfer Center. We have a dedicated email address for transfer students so they don't get caught in the shuffle. We also, again, there's our transfer student website where you can find additional videos and information about the transfer process at Worcester State. And if you're interested in visiting us in any capacity, open house, campus tour, one of the transfer events, you can go to Worcester's worcester.edu/visit. You can also register for some of the transfer-related events on that transfer website. I thank you for your time. And again, I'm here as a resource. Reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help. Thank you.